Hello my friends, this is Qinghong here. It's in the middle of the winter here in the mountains, but there's still a lot of life happening. And today I want to show you how to paint this fiery, beautiful squirrel. You can watch the whole lesson in my Patreon online membership. In this video, I will show you the key steps to paint this squirrel. And first, I wet the paper on both sides, and I call this method the double wet in wet technique. And the benefit of it is that the water can stay wet for a long time, and the effect of your brushwork will look very soft and fuzzy, and which is really great to paint animals. So here is the double wet in wet technique. And after I wet the paper, I'm going to lay down colors for the first wash. So here you can really be free and liberal and don't worry about the accuracy of where the pigments are, because we're going to have later layers to define that. So for the first layer, just lay down the colors, especially for the midtones, and let them mingle in the wetness. So you will have a lovely soft fusion effect. Here I also paint in the background as much as possible, so that there's a wholeness, especially towards the back of the subject, the main subject, so it blends in the background better. After I get the midtone in, mostly I started with the dark part of the subject, and painting dark is not easy for me. So here are a few tips I have. The first is to paint the darkness. You really need fresh pigment instead of those dried up ones. So only with fresh pigment right out of the tube, then you have all this strength. And the mixture I use here mostly involves violet, Winsor violet, and then a mix with burnt umber can get you really nice and dark colors. And from there you can add more of ultramarine blue or alizarin crimson, and to vary the temperature and the tones of the color. I continue to build on my tonal values. This painting is actually going into this ugly duckling stage. So a lot of times for painting, we need to get ugly before it get beautiful again. So this is exactly at that stage. And why is this happening? I think it's mostly because we paint piece by piece, part by part, and this is not finished. So if you are in this stage, then don't lose faith. Instead of thinking, oh gosh, this is so ugly, this is not what I wanted, but keep going, because you see right here, for example, as I'm painting more of the tail, the front body and the face looks really vague. So it looks off balance and looks strange and not looking good. However, as you continue to paint, to add tonal values, textures, and strengthen your features on the face, it will start to look nicer and nicer. So I hope this is a lovely tip that I find to be useful, is to keep going, go through your ugly duckling phase and know what you want to continue to paint, and just go for it. I am coming into getting more of the feature of my face, not my face, my little squirrel's face. And I changed into a smaller brush. This is a round size 8, I believe, from Winsor & Newton, professional watercolor brush, sable brush. It's really nice. And I use that to get in my little features. And when I paint the eyes, I also want to differentiate between the eyes that's closer to the viewer from the ones that's back. So the ones in the front has more clear edges and stronger definition, while the ones in the back, I'm not putting in as intense darkness, but just let it fade out a little bit. And at this stage, my paper is still actually moist because I use this double wet in wet approach. So my facial features looks both defined but not look like cut out because of the moisture. So it looks softened and natural, and I really like this. So here I start to look at my painting, and my little squirrel starts to look at me and smiling, and that's so lovely. You see, that for me is one of the greatest joy of painting. We create a life out of nothing on this paper. So, and this smiling squirrel, I was looking at him, I just feel so encouraged, even though honestly my painting is still at the ugly duckling phase, but I feel like well, I have more faith because I have a little partner, the squirrel, that's smiling at me. So let's keep going. So as I'm coming to the foreground, and I'm actually putting in more of a calligraphic approach to my painting. Because our squirrel, I put a lot of effort to it, and if I've been like working too hard on everything, like these branches, then this painting will feel very tight. So I intentionally loosen up with this area that's not super important, but just to give you a context, right? So just branches and foreground snow. So my brushwork is much freer, and that just lighten up the energy of the painting as well. So I want to give you this tip because I find this to be very helpful if you want to paint a lively painting. You know, when we work too hard, where we can kill that liveliness. So let's light up, and our painting will become lively too. And I really like how this just a few brushwork, very calligraphic, and gives that enough information. And here comes a little bit of snow, just a little mixture of ultramarine blue with a tiny bit of violet and a tiny bit of burnt umber to warm it up. And you can vary the color of the snow here and there. Here comes the final layer of my painting. Yes, I'm not finished yet. So right now this painting still looks kind of chaotic, but we have one more technique we haven't tried, which is glazing. So glazing is an amazing technique to bring everything together and create unity. So what I did is I'm going to I used this big brush and lay clear water on top of the surface of this squirrel where I want to have more unity. And then I mix this dark color, this is mixture between red and with a little bit of burnt sienna. And then I go into this tail to glaze this color on with a big brush. And this really helps to bring more of the unity to the tail area, so that it's not feeling like all these like spikes here and there, but more of this ambience to it. I instantly saw a difference and I really love it. And see, that's why we didn't give up, right? We went through this ugly duckling stage, and now with this glazing technique, we are bringing it together. And in addition to the tail, I actually also wet the body of the squirrel and laid down more of a cooler tone of cooler colors, and that is really where, as you see in the reference photo, there's a little bit more cool bluish color. So here I am adding a little bit ultramarine blue to my mixture. So see, it just looks much softer and together. And I'm happy with the body of the squirrel, and now I can move on to strengthen the face a little more. And this is really a balancing act with painting. When we strengthen one part, we look at the whole picture again and see where we want to strengthen. And I also here want to strengthen the paw in the front a little bit, because it is in the front, right? Right now it looks vague, but I don't want it to compete with the face. So here's what I do. I simply add a little touch of darkness to show where the shadow of the nail, the fingers are, and that would be it. Just a little bit definition. Now that I'm happy with how the squirrel is looking, I'm adding some white drops for the snowdrops, and this is squash. And finally, we can add the whisker or the mustache, however you call it. I'm changing to a pointed round brush, which comes to a very fine line. And this brush, I really like it a lot. It's also from Winsor Newton Professional Watercolor Brush Sable, and it's a size 8. And this final step of adding whisker is really helpful to bring this squirrel to life. So don't miss it. Alrighty, this is it. This little fiery squirrel that brings so much life in these winter days. And I hope you enjoy this little tutorial. And know that on my Patreon membership, if you wish to join, it's only $8 a month, and you have access to many of my tutorials, full length, fully explained. And I have the link in the description box below. But right now, I wish you a happy new year, a happy 2026 with lots of watercolor painting.